Well, India have produced one of the most sensational run chase in their history of women's cricket as they beat the undefeated Australian women's team in the semi-final of the ICC Women's World Cup 2025. A brilliant partnership between Smriti Mandhana and Harmanpreet Kaur, of course, started things off well, and with, of course, a target that was I mean, almost everybody said that this is going to be enough. 300 plus runs is something that you want in a semi-final. But the way Jemimah Rodriguez came to the party and the way she took on the chase showed a lot of character, showed a lot of determination, grit, and a remarkable story that goes behind her career as well. But the fact is that they've beaten the mighty Australians, and the host Indian women's team has now qualified for the final, where they will be facing the miracle South Africa. South Africa, of course, are on a dream run themselves. Laura Wolfart leading them to a semi-final victory over England. For the very first time, the South Africans have qualified for the final of the Women's World Cup as well. It's all to play for both the teams, and it's pretty much neck and neck, although South Africa's dream run might be enough because they've already beaten India in the group stages as well. So we will be talking about that. I'm your host Ahmed Nawaz. You're watching The Scoreboard, coming to you live from our Islamabad studios of Pakistan TV. We're discussing this and lots more. Let's take a look at our other top stories. Then, of course, from cricket, we tell you about tennis, where another upset has now taken place. Unseeded Valentin Vacherot has continued his fairy tale run at the Paris Masters as he defeated Cameron Norrie, who had beaten Carlos Alcaraz in a thrilling encounter in Paris. Of course, just a day after shocking world number one, Cameron Norrie was shocked himself. This marks the first time a player from Monaco has reached the quarterfinals of a Masters tournament, making it one of the tournament's biggest surprises of this year, 2025. Of course, he beat his cousin earlier, Vacherot, but now he moves on and defeats the Brit Cameron Norrie. Then we move on and we talk about something that has made headlines all over now. It's a fraud that has been uncovered, close to 1.5 million euros when it comes to the World Athletics Federation. Now, this is something that has raised serious alarm bells, have rung, where members and auditors have uncovered 1.5 million euros that are missing. The theft has been reportedly involved misappropriation of event funds and sponsorship money. President Sebastian Coe vowed full legal action against those involved, but there are calls for him to step down as well. This is not the first time we'll be seeing major financial embezzlement in a world sporting body, but this time the allegations are pretty much serious as well. Then we move on and we discuss football, where a major offer has been rejected by Saudi Arabia. No bigger name when you talk about Lionel Messi, but with World Cup preparations taking priority, Saudi Arabia's sports ministry has rejected an off-season promotional offer from Messi, citing the nation's full focus on preparations for hosting the 2034 FIFA World Cup. The offer was made through Messi's representative, who said involving a short-term ambassadorial appearance during the MLS off-season. Messi will remain with Inter Miami, where he's expected to return to action in pre-season friendlies earlier next year as well. Then we move on to basketball. We tell you about the Lakers as well, which of course are once again in the headlines. Lakers are always there when it comes to NBA, aren't they? But this time an ownership shake-up has taken place as majority stake has been sold to investor Walter. A historic NBA transaction now sees Mark Walter, co-owner of the Los Angeles Dodgers, acquiring the majority stake in the Lakers as well. The deal, valued at $10 billion US, has been approved by the NBA Board of Governors, making it the most expensive franchise sale in sports history. Walter, of course, praised the Lakers' legacy and vowed to honor their winning culture with expanding global reach as well. I think this is just monumental. Before the Celtics went for $6.1 billion US, but with $10 million of a price tag, Lakers are surely now the most expensive sports franchise that has ever been bought. Then we move on and we tell you about the second T20 International that takes place tonight between Pakistan and South Africa from the Gaddafi Stadium in Lahore. Of course, tickets have been a sellout already. There's a lot of talk about Pakistan making a comeback. Whether there'll be some changes or not, only time will tell. Then we move on to the World Athletics stories as well. Then we talk about doping scandals that are now taking place as well. WADA has cracked down on global doping network that they found as well. 800 million euros worth of steroids have been seized by the World Anti-Doping Agency, intensifying its campaign against doping supplies, uncovering a massive international operation worth over 800 million euros in illegal substances. The agency emphasized the critical role of whistleblowers in exposing supply chains that feed banned substances to athletes. Earlier, Olympics 2028 testing had already begun, part of global initiative to ensure a cleaner competitive environment while ahead of these games as well. I think it's just monumental. And once again, we've already seen majority countries that have been banned due to state-sponsored doping as well. And WADA has taken some very, very serious actions. But 800 million euros worth of substances that have been confiscated means that this was a large-scale operation that, of course, transcended into various sports as well. We're going to be discussing all of this and much more. But, of course, we're going to start off with the ICC Women's World Cup, where it's been a dream run for not only South Africa, but a fairy tale now for the Indian women's team as well. To discuss it further, we've been joined by our experts. First of all, joining us is a sports expert, senior cricket commentator as well. MOIN AZIZ joins us. Assalamu alaikum, Leena, and welcome to the scoreboard.
Walaikum salam, Ahmad, and my salams to everyone. Hope you guys are well.
Very well indeed. And also joining us is someone who happens to be an expert and also the head of sports for Daily Times of Bangladesh. RABBANI joins us. Assalamu alaikum, Shahnur, and welcome to the scoreboard.
Walaikum assalam, and assalamu alaikum to everyone that's watching and has joined us. Good to have been invited once again, and slight apologies if you're getting any background noise because I am at a cafe. I came to do some commentary for the Under-19 series involving Bangladesh Under-19 and the Pakistan Under-19 in Bogura, Afghanistan Under-19, beg your pardon. And that match just finished, so I'm packing up to go back to Dhaka. So I'm in between, but I couldn't miss this show for anything.
No worries at all, Shahnur. We always love a good cafe and a good ambience and a good conversation. So you've ticked all three boxes over there. But we're going to come back to both our guests. But first of all, it's just been a fairy tale run. The story is so much more to it. I have probably seen one of the most remarkable innings, be it men's or women's cricket, in a semi-final of a World Cup. Let's take a look.
Oh, chipped in the air, but it's past King at mid-wicket.
Jimmy pulls that out of the line. Navi Mumbai loves it. Exquisite from Jemima Rodrigues. 50 comes up in style. Cut away. That'll release the pressure. Jemmy gives her the charge and finds the gap.
Half century.
Well planned. And too quick. What is what? Magnificent striking. Jemmy Rodrigues has been quiet. This beautifully played. Yeah, it's up and over McGrath. That will be a 4 yet again at the start of the over for India. That
Got it through! Jemima Rodrigues! Multiple runs, 4 runs! Finds the gap position! It is one of the great innings in the women's game in a semi-final of a cricket world.
Well, there you have it. What a remarkable innings, great determination, the challenge head-on, everything part of this innings by Jemima Rodrigues. An incredible story when it comes to her career as well. Yes, MOIN AZIZ, you're the one who probably predicted this earlier. But, you know, let's talk about this individual inning first of all.
Yeah, well, yesterday when I was on your show, I mean, I would never now put my head on the chopping block when a team's gotten 330 odd runs. And the other team I know has batsmen who on that particular wicket would be able to chase most probably. So yes, you're right. I didn't predict. But as far as Demi goes, I mean, what a fantastic player. She's got such a calm demeanor. She can cut, she can pull, she can play from the box. She can play through the mid-wicket, straight driving, inside out, and the self-belief. that, and she was only told that she was going to play at number 3 just 1 hour ago from before the match. So she has the self-belief and the skill set, and I'm going to use this word again and again, the skill set to play an innings like that. Yes, she was given a few chances, but then fortune always favors the brave. But she played a fabulous knock, and I think lesser players all over the world should learn the technical skill that she has. Beautiful. I mean, and she's a fantastic human being. I know that for a fact.
Well, certainly, I think it's just been an innings of great domination. Leena's absolutely right about the skill set, but Shahnur, what would you like to add? Because the story is so incredible. When you look at the career, she's been through all sorts of ups and downs. Obstacles have been there throughout the career, but she's managed to come past all of them. Even in the post-match presentation, she was very emotional, thanking her parents. But the fact is that this is a young lady who realized her potential on a day when it probably mattered the most for this Indian team.
And that's, what sports is all about. And that's what cricket is all about as well. It gives you an opportunity to prove yourself the next day. And, it gives back. It always gives back. Sports is a great leveler, as they say. And the story with Jemima, I have to say, is for millions of young girls, men, players, just human beings all around to, whatever you're going through is to have a positive mindset when you're out there. And even when she was emotional during the post-match interview, she was expressing herself very well. She had the wherewithal to talk about all the aspects that she wanted to. And I think that really shows her character, that even though she's letting her emotions out, she's not forgetting to shake hands with the other players. She's not forgetting to answer the questions properly. It was a brilliant interview. And also, I think, you're talking about her technique and everything, but it's a mental thing at the end of the day. It's about crossing that final hurdle where many times the Indian team has failed on previous occasions against Australia, the mighty Australia. You could say that they're arguably the greatest sports or cricket team of all time, men and women all together. This is the indomitable Australia who won so many World Cups previously. So, to beat them and to do it on such a big stage in front of your home crowd, and she can thank the Creator, she thanked the Lord, she thanked her family. I think that really shows that, even through thick and thin, her family, and as long as you have a good support system, you can fight through it. But at the end of the day, it's all her credit. She gave her teammates all the credit, but it is all her credit. One person I would like to just slightly add that deserves a lot of credit is the captain as well, Harmanpreet Kaur, because when she came in and that partnership was forming, they helped shift the momentum towards India. And without that partnership, really, you don't have such a record run chase against Australia in such a big and important stage. And I think, for anyone that's watching, how to chase big totals, how to chase big runs under pressure, how to do it, that match, that game, men's and women's cricket all together is a perfect example of how to go about the business.
Well, certainly, I think brilliantly analyzed by Shahnur as well, that, the aura that has been built around the Australian team it's not easy to defeat that. They're unbeaten in the tournament. They're top favorites to win the World Cup. They've got a history to themselves, and then you're taking them head on. The way the Indian team has done is just simply remarkable. But let's take a look at those fantastic winning moments that defined it all for Team India.
It must surely be the greatest run chase in the history of women's one-day internationals, given the context of a Women's Cricket World Cup semi-final. And India have strolled across the line, defeating the former champions. Now we can say Australia, who have been unbeaten until now. Victory by 5 wickets to tears of joy and passion. They are into the final. of this World Cup, and there will be a new name on the trophy of the ICC Women's World Cup in a few days' time.
Well, there you have it, those fantastic winning moments, and what better to have those winning moments with the commentary of the great Ian Bishop. I think it just makes it even more remarkable. But Lena, let's talk a bit about this career that we need to follow in as well. A young girl starts playing cricket, joins a club. One fine day she realizes she's told that her club membership has been cancelled or revoked because once again Hindutva extremists are blaming her father for conversions and utilizing the club for cricket for conversions as well. Of course, a false allegation and a blame. Still doesn't stop, still carries on, goes on to play not only for India, but, the way she's held her head up high, remarkable fielder, remarkable character on and off the field. Even off the field, we've been seeing, videos as well of the witty character that she is. She's dancing, she's singing. She has that camaraderie to herself as well. How does this define someone who becomes the next role model for women's cricket?
Absolutely. What we become one day is all about what we are as a character, as a human being. Because before cricket, before anything else, we've all got to be good human beings, whether it's in India, Pakistan, Australia, England, wherever. But first of all, to achieve anything, to become anything, you got to be a good human being. And then once you're a good human being, then other facets of your personality come through, like being mentally strong, like you just said, that, her membership was revoked due to political reasons in India. She, sort of went through, surged ahead in spite of all that. And her character on and off the field seems like such a beautiful person. The way she is with people in the hotels, in the security, in the management. She's just and just a few days ago she was dropped from the team. So just to come back and play at number 3 and have that mental skill and mental toughness that the gentleman was just talking, Noor was just talking about, it is so important. So to become a champion, Ahmed, you need all facets of your personality going through, your kindness, your skill set, your mental toughness, your family support, your ability to endure moments when you're put down, when you're not on top of your game, when you're dropped from the team, all those things. So this young lady Jamima is such a fine character. And that is why, trust me, Ahmed, when I didn't say that India was going to lose yesterday on your show, it was mainly because these one or two characters, and particularly Jamima, who's one of my favorite women players, because she's, even when she's fielding, she's got so much character. She gives you 100%. So, when you have a character like this in your team, whether it's the men's game or the women's game, and coupled with the skill set, technically being correct, having those, developing those shots, ability to work hard and play the scoop shot and the reverse sweep and the slogs and the late cuts, all that. She's such a complete player. And then, of course, to be such a complete human being, it's fantastic. I mean, she's just a role model for all of us women. And we just strive every day, women in particular. We all strive to become role models for our proteges, for younger women. And I mean, she's just such a fantastic role model and such a good player. So as long as she was in that Indian camp yesterday, although frankly, honestly, I didn't want India to win. I wanted Australia to win. But back in my mind, I knew that they had the players, in particular Jamima, who would be able to fight, who would get her 500% to win for our country. And that is what makes them a very good team. And now they'll be a very difficult team to defeat, because 90% chances are, after this win, they'll be so buoyant. And I'm not saying 100%, I'm saying 90%. So there is a 10% chance for South Africa. So now 90% chances that India is going to win, but South Africa has that 10%. And they have champions in their team also who can come up with the goods on that day, Sunday.
Well, certainly, but you know, I think otherwise. I think they're up against a team like South Africa, who are already on a dream run at a moment. They're also looking to make history. They've qualified for the final for the very first time. But let's take a look at this interesting journey of be it men's or women's cricket, because that is something that is very, very interesting as well.
It must surely be the greatest run chase in the history of women's one-day internationals.
Finish it off with a 6. And they're into the final of the Champions Trophy.
Victory by 5 wickets to tears of joy.
Well, 25 has certainly been the year for the Indians, but the fact is they're up against a side which is on a dream run at the moment. Shahnur, how would you now analyze the final? We agree that India have got momentum, they've got the home advantage, they're playing quality cricket, but they're up against a side like South Africa, who lost the first match of this World Cup embarrassingly against English team. But after that defeat to England, they never looked back, and the way they've stepped up, especially the two of their star campaigners who are the most experienced with Laura Wolfart and Marizan Kapp, have both performed in the semi-final, beating the English team and then qualifying for the final. But throughout the tournament, they've had notable performances.
Yeah, absolutely. So you mentioned embarrassing, and it was a shocking result as far as I'm concerned. When I saw the score of 69, and then you have Laura Wolfart scoring 169 in the last game to beat England in the semi-final. They tried 2 previous occasions, they couldn't beat England, and this time they did. And you talk about emotions amongst the players, the South African players, and also in the combox where Natalie Germanos was calling the final moments, and she also got emotional. Obviously, she's South African, and you spoke about Ian Bishop as well. If you saw the emotion in the combox over there as well, it's just one of those things, World Cup, making it to the final via a very good, thrilling semi-final. It's always something that is going to bring about a lot of emotion, not just among the players, but also in the combox. And as far as the final is concerned, people might be saying India are favorites, but don't count out the South Africans because they've beaten India on every single occasion in the World Cup so far. In the last game, who could ever forget that innings by Nadine de Klerk? South Africa looked down and out, and then 40 needed of the last 4 overs with her there. She was hitting sixes for fun, taking apart the Indian bowling. So this South Africa team, this women's team, and as we saw with the men's team as well in the World Test Championship final and their route to it, they seem to find a way. They've had that C word tag on them for a long time. And then when you get that monkey off the back, yes, that's for the men's team. I think the women's team might follow suit as well. It's another India-South Africa final. And prior to this, Marizan Kapp did say in the press conference that she'd rather face India because when the home crowd is cheering them on, it almost feels like they're also cheering for South Africa. That's how she feels. So it's going to be one of those battles where you really can't say who the favorite is because South Africa, with their batting depth, and India also with their batting, it's going to be a very interesting battle. I'd say that given South Africa's history against India in World Cups and the way they found a way to win, and they found so many heroes from different times, look at Sunay Lees, look at Chloe Tryon, I already spoke about Nadine de Klerk. Look at that opening combo of Tasmin Fritz and Laura Wolfart, who has the best cover drive in the game, if you ask me. So you can't count them out. And then the bowling does its work as well. Nonkululeko Mlaba, she's going to be a very key weapon if it's a track that takes a bit of spin. And, they've got all the bases covered. Against India, I think as far as firepower is concerned, South Africa might have the edge. India will have the home side advantage. Pressure would be on South Africa in a final. But if they bat first and they put on a big total, you never know. India have made a habit of chasing big totals, but you never know what's gonna happen in the final. The nerves can have a say, and with both sides, they've had moments where they seem fallible, and they've had moments where they seem incredible.
Well, certainly, but you know, I know it's very hard to pick now, but let's take a look at the head-to-head stats of both South Africa and India women's team as well, because they're very interesting. Now, they've played 34 matches against each other, India winning 20, South Africa winning 13, and of course, one of those games in no result. But the recent fixture has been South Africa beating India in this Women's World Cup in the initial stages. So I think by 3 wickets that victory margin was there, but they'll still back themselves. I think South Africa is a team that, like I said, is on a miracle run, but I think a lot of India's game plan is going to be tested with how Marizan Cap bowls, because I think that opening spell is going to really matter. Leena, going into the final, I know it's still a game where people would say, even you said that India right now have that momentum. But if we look at South Africa's strength as well, what do you believe is the key for South Africa in that final?
And they've got some match winners. I mean, Marizan Cap, there's the captain, then there's Brits, then Malaba, and all these players are certain match winners. They've got these spinners who are tall and can, they're difficult to face on these Indian tracks. And then they've got also South Africa have also got momentum. So yeah, the sides are very evenly matched, very good sides. Both have good momentum. So on the day, I mean, I feel Ahmed, whichever side will take pressure better will probably have better chances. I certainly want South Africa to win. There is no doubt about that. But as an analyst, I mean, I have to see which side has got better momentum. And I feel India right now has got better momentum. But also I feel that they could be put under pressure because sometimes, like the game they had yesterday, such a big emotional kind of chase, it takes a lot out of you emotionally and you don't have much left in the tank for the final. So that is why I give South Africa 15 to 20%, 10%, 15% chances to win. And if they can capitalize on that particular point, how emotional drainage, that if they can capitalize on, then they have a good chance, and they do have match winners. I mean, Cap is one of my favorite players, and the cover drive, Laura cover drive is fantastic. They also got Britt, who's got a century in this tournament, and then of course the tall spinners and fast bowlers. So they've got a complete side, but also, I mean, pressure. I feel mentally, whoever's stronger mentally on that day, the toss also would be very important. So these little things, the track itself would be important. So let's see what happens then who turns up in a better frame of mind to take pressure better. I mean, technically...
Thank you very much, Leena, for joining us. I think Leena has really, analyzed this game as well, and she's made her call. I think that really is difficult to choose now. Of course, she goes with South Africa on a dream run, but you got to look at the numbers and what they say. But I'll just very quickly ask Shanur for his prediction so we can balance the equation. Shanur, South Africa or India? Where is the final going?
Yeah, I think most neutrals will be thinking South Africa. India fans and India will be hoping for India to win. My money's on the Proteas. I just have a feeling that, as much of a good run as India have been on, they've been very iffy in this World Cup. Keep in mind, they barely qualified in South Africa. In games, they've looked extremely dominant, as they did in the semi-final, and they've won matches from extremely difficult positions. The one against Bangladesh, where they won, the one against India, where they won. So all of those things will play in their favor. And like I said, they've never been beaten by India in a World Cup. So all of that, along with Laura Wolfart's form, Tasmin Fritz's form, Nadine de Klerk, I'm mentioning that name again because she was the match winner in the previous game against India. So I have to say that my money's on South Africa. And it's just going to be difficult for India, I feel. Like they're going to have to play something special like they did against Australia. Can you do it in back-to-back games is the question.
Well, certainly. Thank you very much, Shah Rabbani, for joining us as well. He's, of course, put his money on the South Africans. I just think it might just be South Africa's cricket here. They won the World Test Championship. They beat Australia, did the unthinkable on the men's side. Maybe they win the World Cup for the very first time. And that drought of silverware ends everywhere. So I think that might be the case. But you never know. Looks like the stars are aligning for a South African victory. Now, of course, we're going to be talking about the Paris Masters that has seen another shocking result. Even after another game, we're once again talking about another upset because Cameron Norrie has been beaten by Vacherot. Valentin Vacherot, now ranked 134 in the world, has become the talk of the tennis world with his back-to-back victories now at the Paris Masters, defeating world number 1 Carlos Alcaraz, and of course in straight sets, 6-4, 7-5 triumph that shocked the tennis world. He's of course followed up with a brilliant performance to beat Britain's Cameron Norrie 7-6 and then 6-4 in the round of 16. The fact is that Cameron Norrie was on a dream run himself, beating Carlos Alcaraz, but now the way he has been defeated by Vacherot, who now becomes the first tennis player from Monaco to reach a Grand Slam quarterfinal. He's already made history, but right now he is a buzz, he is a sensation, he's the top headline when it comes to sports around the world, especially tennis, and right now he seems to be dominating Paris, because the fact is that beating Cameron Norrie was not an easy job, and if you look at the result as well, 7-6, 6-4 in the round of 16, that means that he really took the tennis towards the medal. But now, of course, he is going to be in this 1000 quarterfinal with incredible composure. He's now next facing Daniil Medvedev, who has also regained form at a very crucial time as he beat Hubert Hurkacz 6-3, 6-4 to book his place in the quarterfinal as well. So, of course, he also said that I had lost a bit of confidence indoors, but Paris feels good again. I love the conditions here. So that's what Medvedev said, who's now facing Vacherot. But the fact is that, like I said, the first player from Monaco to reach a Masters 1000 quarterfinal, already making headlines, is certainly going to have a lot to say about himself as well. But I think the world of tennis is already in awe of Vacherot. They're already in shock that Cameron Norrie has been knocked out, because it wasn't an easy game, let's be honest. And 90%, I think, the predictions were going in favor of Cameron Norrie, because the way he beat world number 1 Carlos Alcaraz, a lot of people thought that he's probably going to ace this game as well. But I think the boy from Monaco, I'm going to call him the dream boy from Monaco at the moment, just refused to give up. And I think going forward is going to be a shocking exit from the world of tennis, the way Cameron Norrie and Alcaraz both have been knocked out as well. Of course, now we move on and we discuss some more particular things on the scoreboard as well. We have to update you on other happenings as well. Of course, we move on to the World Athletics scandal now, which has raised serious concern over the world of sports. 100 and more percent of world outlets have now criticized Sebastian Coe, the head of the World Athletics Federation. 1.5 million euros missing from this entire prospect, uncovering this entire money as well. Of course, Sebastian Coe vowed full legal action against those involved, emphasizing the need for transparency and integrity as key priorities moving forward as well. To discuss this and much more going forward, we now have been joined by senior sports journalist from Germany, SYED HAIDER. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the scoreboard, sir.
Walaikum salam, Ahmed. Thank you very much.
Right, sir. I think the last major financial scandal we had was in FIFA, and there was a lot of criticism going into FIFA and its top heads as well. But now we see this 1.5 million euros missing from the World Athletics Federation's fund in terms of sponsorship and development. Has to be probably a huge story right now.
Absolutely. You know, in the sports organizations, a lot of discrepancies and corruption news around the world we are looking at this moment. And this is the new, very new scandal in the FIFA and what they have invested the money for the World Athletic, and it has been missed. So I think the organization of FIFA, it's they are not really on the path of that to control the corruption. We have seen in the past also a lot of scandals in the in FIFA and other sports organizations. Even in cricket, we are getting the news about the scandals. So it is really amazing for the world that people are investing the money. People are providing the money to FIFA, the countries, and the sports local authorities, and the FIFA is not controlling the corruption. That is really amazing for the sports world, and I think it will be more a bigger scandal in the future, that and after some time we will see more corruption details of this scandal.
Absolutely, and I think the calls are absolutely right for Sebastian Coe to step down, but he's promised an impartial investigation into the matter, and he said that all facts will be, probably put forward publicly as well, but only time will tell. I think Sir Haider's right that this might go even further as investigation digs a bit deeper. But now, of course, we move on to cricket as well. Pakistan is all set to face South Africa in the second T20 International, a must-win game for the Pakistan team. They're at the Gaddafi Stadium now. Lahore seems to be a favourite hunting ground. To discuss this, Sir Haider's going to stay with us as well, but we've also been joined by someone who happens to be an expert when it comes to cricket. Mr. Umar Khan joins us. Assalamu alaikum, Umar. Welcome to the scoreboard.
Alaikum salam, and thank you so much for having me.
Right, Umar, we'll start off with you and then I'll move to Sir Haider as well. What are your hopes for tonight, and are we expecting some changes in the lineup?
Well, when it comes to Pakistan cricket team, it's better not to keep your expectations high, because whenever you expect, that's when you get the worst of results. The changes, I won't say we should have changes, because that is our problem. We'll keep on playing musical chairs with our captains and the management, and this is why the team is not settled. The problems where Pakistan are losing games are schoolboy errors. Even the last game, we saw it was a track where things were there for the bowlers, but we were too vivid with the bowling. So, of course, when Nawaz came in and he bowled on the right lens, things were better. But then again, we gave around 40-50 runs, a bit too extra. And even when we got them, when Nawaz got wickets, we leaked runs, 4 boundaries in an over, and that too on vivid bowling. So I don't think there should be changes, but what we need to do is everybody needs to play their role. Babar Azam had his comeback, and everybody, I think the haters or anybody who doesn't want him in the team, they were all like, he got out for a duck, and then I saw the comparison of he's got equal ducks with Shahid Afridi, but this is T20 cricket. The thing is, Pakistan is struggling with their batting. And one thing I would like to add here, if you talk about intent should be there, but you have to have skill to back it up. You see these modern day cricket teams who are scoring big runs, they have the skill set to play that way. If Pakistan, their style of play is the rotation of strike, they have got 2-3 sloggers in the team, one who can hit the ball hard. If they get on, Pakistan scores big. If they get out early, Pakistan bowls out cheaply. So I think Pakistan either should work on their skill set to an extent. When they're ready, they can go for the big shot play, go getting 200 every game. Otherwise, I think Pakistan batting line is a 160 team.
Certainly, but Umar, I'm going to come back to you. Sir Haider, this is right now a lot of bother now with less than 3 months to go before the T20 World Cup. We're still unsure of which way the team is going to go. But I agree with Umar, there's a lot of question about captaincy at the moment as well. Having Fahim Ashraf and not bowling him is just absolutely criminal when your bowlers are being taken down to the cleaners. But I think I'll ask you the same question. Do we see some changes, because Usman Tariq, Abdul Samad are also into the team, Wasim Jr. is also with the side, or do we go with the same one-sided approach once again?
Yes, Ahmed, but the changes, it's not a solution for the Pakistan team at this moment. I understand that. You don't have a lot of supply on your bench, and just Usman Tariq or Abdul Samad, they are young and they don't have an experience in first-class cricket, domestic cricket also. So the changes are not mandatory, but the question is that how you are utilizing your talent. The skill factor is very much serious in the Pakistan team at this moment. They are not playing a decent cricket. That is a problem, because if you are playing a T20 format or Test cricket format, you have to go a very decent cricket. What they have done in batting, you can see that the batters, they were not in the line of the ball even. They were playing against the line, and they were not catching the lengths. And I think South African bowlers, they have done their homework very well, but the Pakistan team, they have not done. Fahim Ashraf, just right now you have said that about Fahim Ashraf. He was in the team, but he has not bowled. He not batted. Only 1-2 balls he has batted only, and got a duck. And the bowling has not been used. It means that you have inducted Fahim Ashraf in the team, but without any plan that when he will go to the ball, and just you are relying on the spinners. Why you are getting one more seamer in your team if you don't have the space? I think that's a problem of Pakistan team. They are not implementing their plan, and they are not on the level of the skill and the decent cricket is still behind, and that is the main and problem of the Pakistan team. What we have seen the Rawalpindi Test also and the T20. Now Lahore, it's a home of cricket of Pakistan team. Babar Azam, his home, and other players, they have to show something. But I think they will go for a one change. Hassan Nawaz, maybe he can be dropped, and Abdul Samad can be introduced in the team if they will go for some change. Otherwise, there is no space for any change.
Well, absolutely. I think it's like one of those quotes, the only plan I have is that I have no plan. But thank you very much, Sir HAIDER, for joining us. Umar, my final question to you is obviously going to be the hot favorite topic, Babar Azam. Went out without scoring in the first game to a shot which came to a shock to all cricketing fans around the world, because that's unlike Babar Azam to play something like that. But I think that's what the mindset has been colluded with, that, you know, some sort of silly cricket is required. But what do you expect from him? And, you know, then again, what is the future?
Well, he's a world-class player, and there's no doubt that he'll ever be out in the one days or the test cricket. The question is the T20 cricket. And we do need a Babar Azam for the stability and for the anchor role. And this is what the management should tell him, that you need to stay on the wicket. The thing is, he is not a player that will come in and slog around. He's a rotator, and he can utilize the fields with his wrist works. And I think the pressure got to Babar Azam, and as you said, he played a very unlikely Babar Azam shot. So Babar Azam, if he goes on the crease, he should eye in. His nature of cricket should be the same. The only thing he needs to work on is the power hitting at the end. We've seen when he stays on the wicket, and when it comes for the big shots, he's unable to clear the boundaries. So his nature of game should be the same, but he should work on his power hitting, and he should hit the power shots when required.
Well, certainly. Thank you very much, Umar Khan, for joining us on the scoreboard. I think it's pretty much all to play for Pakistan. They can't afford to lose now, otherwise the series is done and dusted. And once again, we're going to see chops and changes right before the World Cup. But I think, then again, we're in store for a great weekend ahead. When we see you next time on Monday, we're not going to only have the winner of this series finalized, but also the newly crowned champions of women's cricket in ODI format would also be there. Have a fantastic weekend from me and my entire team of the scoreboard. Until Monday, it's goodbye for now.